Hello, I'm Nat. Welcome to Newsbreak for 2022. We'll be talking about Spotify's COVID controversy, celebrating an incredible Australian Open, and find out why iguanas are falling out of trees. But before we get started, why don't you hit that subscribe button? A whole lot of people aren't too happy with Spotify at the moment, including Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They say that the streaming giant is letting people spread COVID misinformation on its podcasts. Here's Leela. Are you okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm great. A lot going on around here, hey?
So how did this all start? Well, in 2020, Spotify paid $142 million to have the world's most popular podcast broadcast exclusively on its platform. The problem is, the podcast is also a controversial one, and lately, it's been criticised for spreading misinformation about COVID-19. Host Joe Rogan denies this and says he's just trying to speak to people with different views, and some of those views are controversial. Hundreds of health experts asked for episodes to be removed. And some musicians, like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, asked to have their songs removed from Spotify in protest. People started taking notice. James Blunt, who had some very popular but famously cheesy songs back in the noughties,
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
even threatened to release new music if Spotify didn't do something.
That would be a disaster. Now, Harry and Meghan.
The Duke and Duchess, who already have a deal to make podcasts for Spotify, have publicly urged the company to act. And it seems like it listened. It says it's adding warnings to any podcast that discusses COVID-19, along with a link to factual information. Take us out, James.
You're beautiful.
Summer holidays are officially over because tens of thousands of you went back to school today. Yes, face-to-face learning is back, at least for some students in public schools in Victoria, Western Australia, the Northern Territory and the ACT. Governments have introduced a few changes to make schools as safe as possible. Most states and territories are giving students access to free rapid antigen tests to slow the spread of Omicron. Masks are still a thing, and 5 to 11-year-olds are being encouraged to get their COVID jabs.
A little bit nervous. Not too, but yeah, I just hope I'll be in the same classes as my friends.
School will be back for pretty much everyone by this time next week. Rafael Nadal has won the Australian Open after a 5-hour-long battle with Daniil Medvedev. The match went until 1:30 in the morning, but don't worry, Kale stayed up to watch the whole thing.
I want to go to bed, but this might be the best tennis match I've ever seen.
Yep, after 328 minutes of amazing tennis.
What a shot. Outrageous.
And about 17 come-ons from me, Rafael Nadal made history.
It's 21 for Rafa.
He came back from 2 sets down against Daniil Medvedev to win his 21st Grand Slam tournament, making him the winningest male player of all time.
I feel honored. I feel lucky to achieve one more.
Aussie legend Ash Barty has a nifty new accessory, an Australian Open trophy. She beat American Danielle Collins on Saturday night to become the first Australian in 44 years to win the Oz Open.
This is just a dream come true for me, and I'm so proud to be an Aussie, so thank you so much, everyone.
And finally, the Special K's Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis capped off their incredible doubles run.
The future of doubles tennis is now.
It's 1 a.m, Rafael Nadal's the GOAT. Time for bed. Bye.
Now it's time for animals in unusual situations. This is one way to make a speech memorable. A US governor from West Virginia was tired of people making fun of his town.
Baby dog tells Bette Midler and all those out there, kiss her honey.
I guess you could say he's now the butt of the joke.
I told you I'd make you smile.
For 44 years, this ancient city in Kosovo has had a unique way of doing bin night. Yes, via horse. Because of how steep the streets are, trucks would have a hard time making their way around town. So it's up to this unusual duo to do the job. It's been really cold in parts of the US, but when the weather forecast says falling iguanas, you're in trouble.
Because they get so cold, they lose that ability to hang on, and then they do fall out of trees a lot.
But don't worry, iguanas are cold-blooded, so they slow down or even freeze up when the temps get too low. But they're not dead. Well, that's all the news we've got for you today. In the meantime, don't forget you can always hit subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh, fancy.